Mr. John Valle.
How you doing?
It is great to see you again.
Al, you're the best. That's all I can tell you.
I love this place. I want to hear all about it today. But before we get to a tour of the York Township facility here on Westmore Avenue, I want to talk to you a little bit about the history of townships, and particularly York Township. And I don't have a recollection because we weren't here, but back 150 years ago, this township was incorporated or started just as people were starting to get their farms in order.
Sure, back in about the 1820s and 1830s, the Germans, mostly Germans, moved into the area, and they had like the churches and the township was the only thing that was going on.
Right.
They had met together, and it was like 1836 they started a farm in Cottage Hill, which is now called Elmhurst.
Right.
They met at the Cottage Hill Tavern, and all the leaders would meet there. That was the meeting place, and
Okay.
it sounds terrible today to meet at tavern, but I mean that's all they had. They just either the
Sure.
farm and they had the general stores.
Well, it was either that or a church or a barn, right?
That's it.
Right.
So they called them taverns back then, I guess,
Okay.
and
Little
from
la-di-da,
England.
huh?
Yes. And so they met there, and then 1849, the Illinois, down in Springfield at the time, they changed the Constitution to allow townships in different counties. They split up, they made DuPage County in 1849, split away from Cook County. And then at that time there, and then they moved ahead until 1850 to divide DuPage County into 9 townships.
And it's pretty much boxes.
It's in boxes. It's 36 square miles each.
Okay.
Which-
They're so all normal size.
They're all about the same size. Since there was a little extra for Downers Grove in that area, it wasn't a perfect square. DuPage County, that's a little bit bigger.
The little foot.
The little foot on the end of that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're very knowledgeable. So
I'm trying. Google and Bing helped me out. So, one of the things that struck me is, as we just said, townships was it in terms of government. You had county above that, and then state and federal, but there were no municipalities.
there was none. It was Cook County was the big city of Chicago was the big thing, and then different towns. Backpacks Grove and in Lombard, which
Right.
is called Lombard today. And normally the things were building up at the time back in the turn of the century with the railroad coming through,
Yeah,
with the Hammerschmidts and different families coming in.
right.
So there wasn't much here at all. Back then they had constables. They actually had judges right here is for the township itself, so they would hear the court cases and stuff
Right.
like that. They had a pound master, which is a gentleman that went around and checked and see if the livestock was running free and charge you a quarter if it was running free on public lands,
Oh, really?
or bothering the neighbors, the Smiths down the street. Your horses were eating their vegetables out of their garden or something.
Animal control.
Animal control back then. We don't
Yeah.
have that anymore.
Yeah,
So the state at this point here gives us 3 mandated functions back in 1850. And the first one was to help the indigent, which is mostly my job. The second was assessment of real properties, which is the assessor.
okay,
And then take care of roads and highways, which is the highway commissioner's job,
okay.
that aren't taken by federal, state, or local municipalities. So that's
So
the
like
3
in the
functions.
unincorporated areas.
Unincorporated areas yes,
Right.
you're absolutely correct.
Okay,
Our services cover everybody in a 36 square mile. That's the size of York Township.
okay.
And it goes from like North Avenue, this is approximately North Avenue to the north, almost to 39th, it's at 39th Street, almost to Ogden in the south, 294 to the east,
Okay.
and then Route 53 to the west, 355. And it goes in and out. It covers 9 towns, covers Elmhurst, Villa Park, Lombard, parts of Glen Ellen, parts of Downers Grove, parts of Westmont, parts of Hinsdale, Oak Brook, and Oak Brook Terrace.
Now, there's
So-
one municipality that if you go online and check for York Township, there's one municipality that comes up by name that people won't recognize. And you probably know what I'm talking about right away. It's now called Oak Brook Terrace,
Yes,
but in the past it was called,
Utopia.
okay, Utopia. Tell us a little bit about Utopia.
Utopia changed in 1958. It was a small community back then, and I've lived in Oak Brook Terrace for 38 years right now.
Okay, so you were
So-
very familiar, yeah.
35, 38. It's been so long.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful community. It's less than 2 square miles. Actually, the shopping center used to be in Oak Brook Terrace. They
The
did
Oak Brook Center, right?
Oak Brook Center, they made a land swap with Oak Brook back then to take that. They gave us some land to the west. So was it 1958? The Meyers Road wanted to have a different name. It sounded utopia, sounded too good to be true, I guess. So they went to
Yeah.
Oak Brook Terrace.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it's one step above Oak Brook. So
Yeah.
that's
So,
what we say.
well, in some circles, York Township is still overseeing Utopia.
Yes,
So
we-
you can always talk about that when you're explaining your services. So we're gonna take a tour, and we're gonna see what today? Tell us a little bit.
Well, we're gonna go to different departments. We have the general assistants, which I'm in charge. Well, I'm in charge of everything here except for the assessor's office, the highways, and the clerks.
Okay,
So we're gonna go by the general assistants, and she can tell you, Diana Turi, I'll tell you a little bit about what we do with Salvation Army, how we help people that fall through the cracks that can't be helped anywhere else.
right,
Say if you lose your job or something like that, what do you do? Where do you go?
right,
You call us, come here, we'll help you find everything you need to know.
yeah,
So we'll help you out with the rent, medicine, or try to get you any kind of help that you need until you can find a job or find out assistance somewhere else. So then we'll go by the food pantry, which is operated solely on donations, no tax dollars whatsoever.
right,
And we're gonna go in there and talk to Pam Sarno, and she's gonna explain what the process is, how you can come in here, how you can, get food to help
Okay,
yourself. I
right.
mean, we don't turn anybody away, even if you don't live in this township, maybe I shouldn't even say it, we won't turn anybody away. If you need
Right.
food, we'll tell you where to go, we'll give you some groceries to go home with so you're not hungry.
that's beautiful, beautiful.
We'll go after that, we can go up to the transportation department,
That's
talk
the
to
rides
Dan.
for seniors,
Rides for seniors,
okay?
he'll explain everything, what's the qualifications to get in there, how much it costs.
Now, I wanna stop you right there,
Yes,
because,
sir.
I have family members who live in another state, and they're not in an area that is, supported by a township. And, now they're getting elderly, and their ability to drive may be taken away soon,
Sure.
because of, the normal things that happen, or sometimes happen to seniors, which is dementia and Alzheimer's. They have no other options. But you provide an excellent service for people who are physically or are incapable of driving, that I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, we have like 4 or 5 vehicles plus a bus that has a handicap ramp on it, so we can take dialysis patients.
Right,
That we do a lot of that. We take them to doctors.
wheelchairs,
Wheelchairs.
right,
We take them to the grocery store because they don't have a vehicle to get there.
right.
And we also take them to the mall if they need to go shopping and drop them off. I mean,
Beauty
I mean-
beauty salons,
and that goes in with our senior service. When we talk to Nora, is that we actually, if you don't want to use our services here, we have a where they can get beauty salon, they get their hair cut, they get their nails cut, their toenails and stuff
Right.
like that, and services out of the seniors at a reduced rate. But if they want to go to the regular place, we'll take them there.
yeah,
So I mean, just think if you didn't be able to drive, like you said, you're shut in, you don't know what to do.
Right.
I mean, that's a big thing. Remember, you
Huge.
were 16 and I'm
Sure.
actually got all this freedom, I can drive. Well, at the other end, they take it away from you. So we,
Yeah.
and that's.
knock on wood, it stays for most, but, when it doesn't, you've got a service that.
We got a service. We'll pick you up. We'll drop you off, and it will help you. It's better than any service in DuPage County. We'll help you with the groceries inside the door. We'll check on you. They'll talk to you for a few minutes.
Beautiful,
I mean,
beautiful. Well, let's get started.
let's
go
get
take a
to
look.
work.
All right.